What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. This video is another high school player. Again, we don't do too many high school games, but you guys have been enjoying these and I just happen to see it. So this is #1 ranked player Tyron Stokes was on a warpath. So we're going to give it a watch. You know it's good when Ball is Life shows the whole clip, because usually it's like a missed dunk or a missed crazy layup first. So usually, yeah, we'll get to here. 6'9" senior. Just spotting up for threes, huh? Get back, I think we're getting to the point we need to start moving the high school three-point line back too. I know a lot of people are gonna, anytime I talk about adjusting rules or changing rules for the high school level, I always get a lot of pushback just because we're so, over here in America, it's so like, this is the way it's always been. But evolution happens. And I think there are some rules that are good and worth changing. If we're just going to allow players to carry the ball more and travel more, we might as well at least fix. we might as well get some good rule changes too. I think the three-point line should be a little bit further back just to help prepare kids for college a little bit more. But also, like, I mean, we've seen it overseas. I believe under 12s play from the normal high school line, but after under 14s and up plays from the FIBA three-point line. So they do it overseas and the kids will adjust earlier, and what it does, it forces them to learn how to properly shoot and develop their mechanics if they're going to shoot from the three-point line anyways. So I've actually seen a lot more increased shooting like technique, so better shooting technique from it, but I've also seen it spaces the floor a little bit better rather than it being so compact and crowded. So it allows kids to play more basketball which is what this should be about, right? Not a lot of defense going on. So we haven't really... Ooh, transition. Nice. Okay, there's a lot of good like ball movement. They're all passing the ball. There's not a lot of defense. Not a lot of defense happening. Oh, you gotta break this habit, buddy. You gotta break this habit. Passing the ball and just like slow walk backwards. Think next play, like go set an away screen, cut to the basket, go directly into an on ball. Oh, I was talking about defense. Here we go. You don't see this a lot in high school. Bursting through the screen, getting a hand on it. And that's a pretty decent screen too. That's pretty good. Sorry, again, walling up, going up vertical, very good. Get that other hand up there too, but good job, nice block. Pushing the ball in transition, great transition. Man, there's a lot of athletes on this court. Get off the rim, buddy. That's a good catch. This is a tough pass to catch for a big. That's a really tough pass to catch. Good job gathering that in. Remember we were talking a few videos ago. If you're my big and you catch it 2 feet in the key, I just want you to go up. I don't want you overthinking it, because like, yes, he could pass here. There's an open player over here. But I think as a big, you got to get used to making these shots. Because especially if it's going to be like a mismatch or a switch, I just want you thinking like punish, get to the glass. I don't want you thinking like, who can I kick it out to? It's just go up. Good job. Man, there's a lot of athletes out here. Seeing a little bit more defense now. Oh, I had a teammate that used to do this all the time. This works so often because as a big, you're typically not reading and anticipating all the other players out here as a big, and I'm assuming this kid's a big. But a lot of times, high school level, lower college level, this guy is just a ball mover, right? And I'm not saying this kid is. I don't know anything about this kid, but you'll get a lot of players on teams that are just ball movers. So it's like you're out there just to like you catch it, you move it. So if you're this guard here, you can gamble and you can take some risks because if you're a ball mover, you're typically not good at lying with your eyes, throwing no look passes. You're typically not reading it and going, hey, you switch, you get here, I'll throw the lob, or into a ball screen and then roll to the basket as an option. As a ball mover, you get the ball, you hold it, you wait for the action, you throw it to the guy you're supposed to throw to. That's typically what they do. So these types of players, watch this. He's actually guarding the screener, the kid that's going away from the basket, and he turns his head with him, but then he just shoots the gap. Yeah, shoots the gap. I had a teammate that did this in college, and we get 2-3 steals a game off of this. So for all you kids out there, if you're in that situation, shoot the gap. You'd be surprised. Look at the habits. Look at the habits again. Ball goes through the net. Look at all the white jerseys. Get as far away from the basketball as possible. But imagine we all just picked up our player here. You don't have to go press and try to get a steal, but just pick up and slow them down. And this is... I was talking to one of my coaching friends, and we're just like, why do you think that like, why don't we do that over here in America? And he was like, well, in Europe, like there's a shorter shot clock. So if you can run it down 6 seconds, then they're down to 18, they have way less time. And he said, but also every possession matters. Like winning really, really matters over there. And I was like, that's not what you want to hear, is it? As an American, like winning doesn't matter as much here. So because it doesn't matter as much, every possession doesn't matter as much. Every possession should matter. We should get to that point. And again, this is where we look at the NBA and we see so many players that have come through the high school ranks. And once they get there, they do their thing. And they're like, oh, but I had 20, I had 25. It's like, yeah, but did you win? Did you improve your team? Like, are you guys winners? This is something I think we have to bring back. And I think this is kind of where it starts. These little things like this. Oh, every possession we play up. Because every possession matters. Because every game matters. All right? Dude. Was he in foul trouble or something? We didn't see much of him, did we? Again, like, this is why. This is why you pick up full court. If you let a guy like this get a full head of steam, look, he's saying clear out. The defense was like, oh, my bad. You want me to clear out? Still, no one, Bueller, no one's going to step up and play some defense until we get right here. Oh, it's too late to defend. He's taking off from almost the free throw line with contact. What did I just watch? You got to pick up those guys full court. You got to make him move back and forth 2 or 3 times. You got to keep him on one side. That way your help, everyone can set up. You can build that wall like they do against Giannis. That's crazy. And then he does the same thing. He just turns and runs the other way too. Yeah, see what I mean? Like everyone just turns and runs. So the only reason I point this out is because this is one of the things that I want to change in American basketball. And you can't have a Tyron Stokes, a kid that gets a rebound, goes coast to coast and takes off from the free throw line and dunks on somebody. You can't have a kid like that. And the way we want to coach them is like run all the way back and sit in the key. You got an athlete like that, we're up, we're playing. If you can get him to have a motor too, what did he do when he passed the ball earlier? He just starts walking backwards. Like that's the thing. Those are the things he needs. Because when he gets to the NBA, as we just saw with the film room video, he's gonna have to pass into an away ball screen, into cutting to the basket, into lifting back up, into a quick touch with the other guard, into a roll or into a pop, into a three. the game keeps going. Hey, and then after you score, we're up. And we're forcing to one side so that our help defense can load up. And then it's just like, if you can get these guys to keep their brains turned on for the whole time they're out there, that's how we improve our elite athletes. You don't just get elite athletes and be like, hey, go dunk on someone, and then we just we just play some like man where we just kind of lazily switch every once in a while. Like, no, we got to do more. We got to do more over here. We got to push our athletes. Even if they are all, that's what I mean. We got to push our athletes. I just saw what he was capable of offensively. Now watch this. My bad, guys. So what's the rule? What's the rule if you're the gap? If you're the gap defender, what's the rule here? And we talk about it all the time. Well, typically, someone asked me in the comments, said, my coach actually wants this. Always do what your coach says first. But typically the rule is, if you're guarding the corner, you're only defending this 60% of the time. 100% of this is what you're guarding, though. You can't just allow one pass away into an open three. In this case, it turns into a drive, but your job is to defend this. You can't give that up, because in the NBA, that's a dunk, right? But we got the dominoes falling. Like, this should still be a dunk. Drop it down for a dunk, lob it up for a dunk. He just ends up throwing a bullet to this opposite corner. And we live to fight another day, but if you're playing against another good team, like, it's a dunk or an open three. But because it ends up like this, we're like, oh, he did such a great job. But again, then that's bad defense too. We needed somebody running up on the ball, picking up, like no one on black just got back. And then we just run back on defense again. Now we give up a kick ahead. We just got a dunk, and now we're giving up a kick ahead pass. So we're allowing, remember, the highest percentage points scored is transition. We just scored. We just did the best thing we could do. We just got the highest percentage score, the highest point per possession that we can get, which is transition. And now we're going to allow the other team to just get the same thing, go in transition. But really what it's coming down to, it's like, which team has better players? I think that's the most boring way to be a part of basketball. It's the most boring way to coach. It's the most boring way to be like, I coached that kid. We had the better players, so we won. I think it's boring. And now it ends up in a turnover. He's like, yes. At the next level, that's not a turnover, buddy. That's a dunk. So we got to build these habits from a young age. And it's not easy. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy, but we should demand it more. And we should normalize, like, the OTE stuff, overtime elite. I would expect that they did all this stuff, but they don't. They've got all the resources in the world, and we can't offer what Real Madrid under 18s offers their players. And don't get me wrong, this is why I don't like breaking down high school kids, because this kid is phenomenal. It's more so an indictment on our coaching, because the kids are only going to be as good as, like, our ceiling, right? They like to get out and go. Is this a 1-3-1? What kind of zone is this? Poor kid. Can't tell what they're in either. Kind of looks like it just looks like man, I guess. Oh my gosh. Poor kids. But even here, he's 6'9". Like, that's an open look. We just saw him shoot a three. That's a pretty good shot. So hopefully he's got a coach that's telling him, like, watching game film now, and goes, that open three that you had is way easier. I know you're 6'9", and so you think this is still easy, but you just drove into 4 players. So you had a teammate over here open, and you had a teammate wide open here. So hopefully, like, this is where they can watch some game film because this isn't easy either, though. It's not easy to be 6'9", boom, cross a kid, get yourself open, and then make a play with the clock winding down. But as a player at this level, if he can now get some good mentorship behind him, and he can be learning these things that he's going to need if he ever makes it to the NBA, he's going to be learning this stuff at 17. If we can start doing this for our kids at 17, we can get back on track with developing our elite athletes. Because what he did was a phenomenal move. Now it's just learning like the IQ part of it. What was good, what was bad. Don't throw your hands up. You made a mistake. They're not going to give it to you. Go. Just get back. You know what I mean? Because how much you want to bet that if he actually just started sprinting right now rather than complaining, he could actually catch this kid and block this, especially if you got a teammate that does a good job of running with him. He could have got back and blocked that possibly. He actually is not anywhere in the frame. He didn't even cross half court. Those are the things our elite athletes need, I think, because he can already do this. We can't take credit for that as a coach. I can't coach that. I can't coach that. I mean, you're a freak athlete. Freak athlete, that's a good post, drop step, go up and dunk through the contact over two other players. No one's coaching that. We're not coaching that. We didn't develop that as coaches here in America. We didn't develop this. We need to develop the other parts, though. That's what we're actually there for. We're there to develop the off-ball stuff. We're there to develop the transition defense. We're there to develop when he throws his hands up because he got fouled. I've been there. I've thrown my hands up plenty of times. But it took me until I was an adult to realize, like, oh, hold on, lock in. Like, don't do that. I can actually sprint back, like, build those habits. We could be teaching him this at 17. Didn't box out. God, I'm not gonna watch any more high school kids anymore because I just rip into them for no reason. But didn't even box out. Allows his player to get a dunk, right? And then he puts his hand up. That's me as a coach. When my players do that, I'm like, I know, I saw it. I know that's you. Gambled for the steal. Gambled for the steal. Now it's a 1-on-1 fast break. 2-on-1, 3-on-1, 4-on-1. Best player in the country. I want you to go stop that fast break. I don't want you to lazily gamble and give up a 4-on-1. But again, this is coaching stuff. And what we do so much over here in America, again, this is why I did that awful coaching video. We hyper fixate on him. He lazily did this. He did this. He this. And I'm like, yeah, because all the coaches are too busy taking credit for all the stuff he does well. Instead, we need to be like, hey, that's really good that you dunked on 3 people. But here on defense, this is what I need from you. If you want to make it at the next level, if you want to continue being the #1 player in the country, once you go to college, like, this is what they're going to demand from you. Someone who's been there, not necessarily a player, but just someone who's seen those next levels, be like, dude, this is what you need to take that next step. You can't be complacent being #1 ranked player in the nation right now, because there's some kids out here that are passing you up because they do all those other little things that don't magically happen. You have to put the effort in and do it. He did the same thing again, right? Passes the ball and just starts moving backwards. You're 6'9", buddy. You cut in there and get this dunk tip. Yeah, so if his eyes light up when he sees he can get a dunk, he's running hard. But when it's for defense, I'm tired. And again, I point that out because that's a typical kid reaction, right? That's a typical 17-year-old reaction. These are the things we got to coach. Uh-oh, defense. Just letting him get a full head of steam. I don't like this. Again, he has a bad habit, right? Every time he passes, what does he do? Just walks backwards. So how much harder is it going to be to build a motor once he gets to college? These are the same habits we saw in the Duke scrimmage, in the Michigan practice. We saw these same habits from all those players that were on that court. And remember how I was telling you guys, like, where do you think it comes from? Because it's not that John Shire at Duke doesn't know what effort is. He knows, and he's going to get these kids going. He's going to lay into them and get you to understand the Duke way. Michigan, I don't know who's the Michigan coach. I actually do know who it is. I just had a conversation with one of you in the comments, but he's going to get into those guys and be like, hey, this is what effort looks like. This is what you need to do. But this is where they're starting from. He should already have that. He's the number one kid in the nation, and the number one kid in the nation's effort is pass the ball and walk away every time. He don't even get inside the key. Don't need to get inside the key. When he does get inside the key, he dunks on 3 people. But let's just not try that every time. You know, we don't need to hustle on defense, like those sort of things. So again, this is not a knock on Tyron Stokes. This is just a knock on the way we develop players over here. We just let it happen, and then we take credit for it once it just happens on its own. We take credit for 6'9" freak athletes when there's so much more we could be doing for them. All right, so we'll stop there because I don't want this to turn into a Tyron Stokes hate session. And I feel like I got my point across, right? Like, there's just so many things that we take credit for as coaches over here that we didn't do. But then there's so many things we can offer and we can help with, and we can put these kids on a better pathway going forward. And what you run the risk of, he might decide, like, I don't want to be coached like that. I don't want to give effort. I don't want to do this. But you got to take that risk that a kid is going to be upset with you for trying to teach them the right way or trying to push them a little further. But we all get too scared because we're like, that's my golden goose. That's my golden goose. I'll do whatever it takes to keep you here. You don't want to run sprints. You don't want to work hard. You don't want to do this. That's fine. Go dunk on some kid from the free throw line. We got to get better as a whole. That's not one coach individual. That's just as a whole. We all got to get better. We all got to start bringing in some discipline a little bit more. We all got to start. And I don't mean like making them run sprints. I just mean like discipline as in, this is what it takes at the next level, so I need you doing those things now. If you want to stay the number one kid in the nation, like this is what it takes. So that sort of stuff I think we got to get better at, and hopefully we are. Hopefully we're on the way of that. If you guys know of some organizations, coaches, teams that are doing things the right way, I'd love to see that as well. I don't want to just be upset every video I watch, so send through some other things. Let me know. See you guys in the next video.